Sophia greeted the group with a friendly smile. "And who's this lovely lady?" she asked. "Ethan, you didn't tell me you'd bring a date to celebrate your latest acquisition." Sophia's brow furrowed. "Acquisition?" Daniel laughed, oblivious to the tension in the air. "Oh, you know Ethan, always closing deals. The man's a genius in the tech world." He extended a hand to Sophia. "Daniel Carter, CEO of Carter Enterprises. Ethan and I go way back." Ethan tried to interject, but the damage was done. Sophia's eyes widened as the pieces fell into place. "Tech world? CEO? What's he talking about, Ethan?" she demanded, her voice rising. "Sophia, I can explain," Ethan began, his tone pleading, but Sophia was already standing, her chair scraping loudly against the floor. "Explain what?" Ethan's presence lingered in her life, even from a distance. Messages arrived, heartfelt apologies that she ignored. The diner regulars occasionally asked about the man who always sat in her section, their innocent curiosity only adding to her torment. "You should give him a chance," her coworker Maya said one night, sliding into the booth across from her during a break. Sophia shook her head. "It's not that simple." Maya shrugged. "The good ones never are." Meanwhile, Ethan wrestled with his own guilt. He regretted hiding his success from Sophia, but even more than that, he hated seeing her hurt. He hadn't meant to deceive her. He'd just been scared. Growing up poor himself, Ethan knew how people's attitudes changed when they saw money. He'd learned to guard his heart. But with Sophia, he'd wanted to drop his guard completely. Now it felt like he'd lost her forever. Sophia froze as her eyes landed on the walls. Her sketches, ones she'd drawn years ago and thought forgotten, were framed and displayed, each one illuminated under perfect lighting. I don't understand," she stammered, turning to Ethan. "I found them in your apartment," he admitted sheepishly. "I know I shouldn't have snooped, but they were beautiful." "Sophia, you're talented, and the world deserves to see that." Sophia's hands flew to her mouth, overwhelmed. You did this for me?" He stepped closer, his eyes never leaving hers. "I remember you saying how much you loved art, but had to give it up. I wanted to give it back to you. And it's not just this, I enrolled you in art school." "Don't worry," he added quickly, seeing her shocked expression. "You can say no, but I wanted you to have the chance." Tears welled in Sophia's eyes as she took in the sight of her work displayed so beautifully, strangers admiring the pieces she'd poured her heart into. "I don't know what to say," she whispered. Ethan reached for her hand. "You don't have to say anything. Just let me be here for you. The way I couldn't be before." Her lips trembled as she nodded, her fingers tightening around his. As the night wound down and the gallery emptied, Ethan led her to the centerpiece of the exhibit, a large canvas she didn't recognize. "This one's new," he said, gesturing to it. Sophia stepped closer, realizing it was a painting of the park where they'd reconnected. In the foreground, two figures sat on a bench, their faces half-turned, but unmistakably hers and Ethan's. "I painted this?" she asked, confused. Ethan shook his head. "I commissioned it, to remember the moment we found each other again." He turned to her, his expression earnest. "Sophia, I've loved you since we were kids. I'll keep loving you for the rest of my life. Can we start over?" Sophia's breath caught as he dropped to one knee, holding out a simple ring, a small sapphire surrounded by tiny diamonds. Steadying and full of conviction as they exchanged vows, there wasn't a dry eye among the guests. Their words reflected not just their love, but the journey that had brought them to this moment. A journey filled with struggle, growth, and an unyielding belief in each other. Their first dance as husband and wife was to the soft melody of a string quartet. They swayed gently, their foreheads touching, lost in their own world. "You make me believe in forever," Sophia murmured. Ethan smiled, his hands tightening around her waist. "And you make forever worth believing in." As the evening unfolded, laughter and joy filled the air. Guests mingled under the stars, toasting to a love that had weathered storms and come out stronger. Standing at the edge of the crowd, Sophia and Ethan watched their loved ones celebrate. "This is everything I've ever wanted," Sophia said, leaning her head on Ethan's shoulder. Ethan kissed her temple. "And it's only the beginning." In that moment, surrounded by love and the glow of countless fairy lights, Sophia and Ethan knew they'd found not just a happy ending, but a beautiful new chapter. Thank you for joining us on this heartfelt journey of love, resilience, and rediscovery. Sophia and Ethan's story reminds us that true connections withstand the tests of time, challenges, and life's unexpected turns. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and leave a comment below. Your support means the world to us. Stay tuned for more inspiring tales that celebrate the beauty of love, the strength of the human spirit, and the moments that change lives forever. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe Beyond the Surface.